The moment you decide to look outside of yourself for value is the moment you give your rights away to be authentically you. Your value is not in what your mother thinks of you, what your father thinks of you, what your family and friends think of you. Your value is what you think of yourself. That is the secret to authentically loving and being you.
Welcome to Soul Food with Sadie. It's time to feed your soul, uplifting others through inspiration, motivation, and edifying the soul so we can be the best version of ourselves. Here's your host, Sadie Evans.
Hello everyone. I am back. Season 3 is just blowing my mind with all the downloads that I'm getting in my spirit that I am going to share with you guys. I am recording on a Saturday, and Saturdays are usually my deep clean day. I'm really not focused on business and things of that nature, but my podcast is not a business to me. This is something that I'm very passionate about, something that I love with all of me, and I got a really good download. So I always feel like when I get them, I'm supposed to give them back because they were so good to me and they were so rich and they blessed my life so much that I really want to bless the lives of the people that listens to my podcast. And then I hope you take it back and bless somebody else too. But nonetheless, today I was deep cleaning, I was watching laundry, and my 2 teenage boys who I had when I was 16 and when I was 18, they were kind of frustrating me, and I was like yelling, like voice elevated, yelling, like, why ain't y'all doing what I'm saying? Why don't y'all ever listen to me? Just all this nagging, if I must say so myself. And as I sat down to fold a load of laundry, it just was downloaded in my spirit that I didn't give them the best version of me. My other 3 children, whom I had when I was older and I was more mature and really developing into who I am as a woman, they received the very best of me. And I began thinking like I did my best. I began to get defensive with this download, like, and I'm a big person on checking yourself, but I began to get defensive. And it just was brought to me again that everything that I went through as I grew, and I went through some painful things, they was right there with me going through those painful things as well. And it even was put in the sense as I felt like God was saying to me, there were times you didn't listen to me. There were times you tried to do things on your own. There was time where you walked away from me, but I never took my grace away from you. But here I was trying to literally take my grace away. Like, y'all gotta go live with y'all dad. Y'all gotta go do this. Y'all gotta go do that. But I was never offering grace. And it literally hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, I'm expecting perfection from something that never got the chance to heal. Look, I went through this self-love journey. I went through therapy. I did all this, but I never took the time to see if my children, my 2 oldest, needed therapy outside of family therapy, because not only did they go through with me, they went through individually too, because they their own person, they their own human, they deal with emotions in different type of ways. And I like to be real transparent and vulnerable on my podcast because that's what it's for. It's Soul Food with Sadie, and if I don't give you the best of me, I can't expect for you guys to grow into the best of yourself. So I went through domestic violence and my children witnessed that. Ooh, I went through lots of things, rejection, just lots of things. And my children, my oldest 2, to be more specific, had to go through those things with me. And here I was dealing with the broken pieces that I caused, okay? That I caused. And I was literally looking at a reflection of who I used to be. But this healed person, this Sadie that's who I am now, this Sadie that's healed, this Sadie that's free, this Sadie that don't live where she used to be, was staring directly in the face of where I used to be. And it didn't feel good. But most of all, I had to ask myself, how can I expect perfection out of something that I caused dysfunction in? Something that I poured into them. Look, I was only pouring dysfunction. I was staying with a man that was putting his hands on me. I wasn't happy with who I was and going to church on Sunday like it was nothing. I was doing these things and they were seeing these things, and we know that children are sponges. So they were just absorbing these things. And now here I am. I lived this dysfunctional life with them for 14 years. And I was expecting them to be a product of perfection. I poured dysfunction. I stayed in dysfunction. I stayed in painful places. But here I was expecting perfection. And if I didn't get perfection, listen, I was ready to throw in the towel. But let me tell you, perfect people don't exist. And healing and transformation takes time. It takes time. And the process does not feel good. Listen, there was times I didn't listen to myself. So I began to ask, how can I fix that? Because I tried to learn a lesson in every obstacle that happened in my life. Because let me tell you, before I leave this earth, I want to know that I fought to be the very best version of myself. So here I was sitting with myself saying, how do I fix something that I broke? And it was just given to me time, consistency, communication, empathy, grace. Those same things that God gave me. So there might be a teen mom that's listening to this right now, and you battling with your oldest kid or your oldest kids, and it's just hard, and you just like, oh, I'm ready to put them in a home, or I'm ready to just give up on them. Let me tell you something, God didn't give up on you. You didn't give up on you when you had to go through your self-love journey. And although we have not fully arrived, but we there, and we at peace, and we at this place where we don't want to live in our past anymore. But let me tell you, if you don't handle your past will come and look you dead in your face. I nurtured who I was. I nurtured me all these years. But I never took the time to say, baby, do you need me to nurture you? Because you went through too. And again, I'm not talking about in family therapy, because yes, we went through family therapy, but let me tell you something. Everyone handled things differently. My first son might not handle what I went through like my second son could handle, but they both deserve grace. They both deserve the opportunity to get it out. And I'm not saying deal with no disrespectful kids, because I'm not saying that, because I'm not going to deal with no disrespectful kids. But what I am saying is, sometimes we can go through life and we can focus so much on who we are and who we are becoming that we forget the needs of our children, when in reality a lot of the dysfunction that our children are dealing with is because of we failed to heal. I was 16 when I had my son, and I'm not making that excuse for me not healing, but I didn't have a mother, I didn't have a father growing up, so I never had a standard to measure. But as I continue to do this thing and where I am right now in my life, I just had to stop. And I had to watch how I deal with my younger kids and how they receiving the best version of me, something that my oldest two never got to receive. They had a broken Sadie. They had me broken, trying to pour into them while I'm still trying to fix myself. Listen, and I'm ready to give them the best version of me. And it took for me to be sitting and staring in the face of what I caused, staring in the face of this dysfunction that I lived in for so many years. It was just coming out of them, because anything you put in will come out. And I was trying to run from it. Like, y'all gotta go. But I'm no longer running from it. I'm ready to face it, because they deserve the best version of us. And I hope that someone is listening to this, and you may have been that child that needed your mother to give you the best version of herself, but she couldn't. Listen, give her grace and pour back into your children from a place of healing, from a place of love. Because let me tell you something, these kids have to be grown-ups one day. And the worst thing you can encounter is a dysfunctional grown-up. So we need to start pouring now while we got the opportunity to pour into our children, so that they can pour into their children, so we can break that generational curse of dysfunction off the bloodline. Ooh, this was really a topic that I was like, God, you gotta deal with me. You gotta deal with me, because I'm ready to be free, but it's so comfortable to be in this place. And let me tell you something. It's not until you get uncomfortable that you can live comfortable. I pray that this message blesses someone. Thank you all for tuning in to Soul Food with Sadie. I look forward to gaining more followers, so please share. If anyone is looking to be a guest on the show, please email me at evanssadie@yahoo.com. Pressing Through Pressure, Season 3. Yay! I am thankful for health in my body, peace in my mind, ears to hear and eyes to see. I am thankful for hands to write, legs and feet to stand, and wisdom to understand the gems that were given unto me today. I am thankful that I can create a strategy that I can implement into my life. I am thankful I am divinely created for such a time as this. I will be thankful for the small things, because the small things are only preparing me for the bigger things that are coming into my life.